This week in the UK, the weather has almost hit 40 degrees, so today's mountain bike adventure is gonna be roasting. With that in mind, I've decided to keep things as chilled as I can for this ride and make the most of the shaded canopy of Watchwood Plantation. But my chilled ride didn't exactly go to plan.
That was a good one. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So rumour has it that the temperature in the UK is going to reach 39 degrees today, which is way too hot for me and way too hot to be riding on a bike. So the plan today is to have a quick power hour and then shelter back in my hole to cool down. Let's not waste any more time, let's get straight on it.
That's right, today I'm out on my hardtail exploring some of the blue and red off-piste trails, a few of which you can see on this map. This is my first time here at Watchwood and I'm excited to see what I can find. All these are short downhill trails with easy push-up tracks back to the top. The trails contain a wide variety of features, from berms to jumps, all covered by the woodland canopy. There are also some unexpected surprises lurking between the trees.
So although it's early, it's really hot already. So I'm going to keep riding until it just gets too hot or I run out of water, which will be in about an hour's time. So let's see how many trails I can tick off.
So let's get going. There's always a bit of anticipation dropping into a new set of trails for the first time. You never really know what to expect or what standard the trails are going to be at. Because these types of trails are not marked, you never know what features they might have or how stable anything is going to be once you ride over it. I was impressed to find that this was a fun piece of single track. It certainly takes an interesting line to avoid the trees, and it's great to see a healthy dose of berms, which really helps the flow. I had a look at the map briefly before heading off, but I couldn't tell you which trail this actually is, but I would have thought it's one of the blues. Although it's only about a minute long, it's actually a really smooth and active trail. I don't know what I was expecting to find when I got here, but it wasn't trails as awesome as this. So with my first trail in the bag, I've made my way back up the push-up in search of some more fun. The second trail starts off slowly and lulls me into a full sense of security, because this is one of the more feature-filled trails that I rode. Heading through a sandy section, there was a berm between some trees that leads into this small jump. After this, the trail really picks up pace. It snakes its way quickly through the trees like it has some kind of purpose. It seemed to cover a lot of ground and maintain a pretty good pace. I was surprised to see how well ridden all these trails are, and this doesn't happen by accident. It takes a dedicated set of trail builders and regular riders to achieve this. So it goes without saying that if you ride somewhere like this, it's important to respect the hard work that everyone has done. With the trails being quite flowy, this is a great place to bring a hardtail. Having a quick and responsive bike that you can throw between the trees really suits this type of trail. With some good front suspension and a decent set of tyres, you really can't go too far wrong. After ticking off the first couple of trails, I was getting the hang of the terrain. All the trails here crisscross each other and have alternate lines splitting off all over the place. So it can be a bit of a maze to try and figure out which line you want to ride. The good news is that if you see an exciting line that you just missed, you're only a short push-up away from retracing your steps and exploring something different. On interesting trails like this, you forget that they're only a minute long, but they're worth every second. Although I'm just cruising my way down the trails, there is certainly the possibility to go much faster. With a bit of a run-up and a few extra pedal strokes here and there, you'll be able to ride this trail at some serious speeds. I love to ride trails like this. The routes they take to navigate the trees is always interesting. Or perhaps it's just the bushes that make it look like I'm going way faster than I really am, but either way, they're a lot of fun. When you're riding random off-piste trails, it's important to pick your line very carefully. The quality and condition of the trail you're riding can also vary quite a lot, as I was about to find out on this particularly loose sandy trail.
That was a good one. So the ground was way too soft and I just dug in. Whew.
Thankfully, the same soft surface that caused me to crash also broke my fall, and apart from a few scratches and some sand in my sock, I came out pretty unscathed. So headed straight for the push-up track once again. After a few short trails and riding back to the top, the heat was starting to take its toll. But I'm not stopping here. Over the next 30 minutes or so, I worked hard on ticking off as many trails as possible. It was literally a fun-filled mix of riding the push-up track, finding entrances to new mountain bike trails, and enjoying the downhill. It had been an amazing morning riding, but the temperature was starting to pick up.
So I think I've been out for just over an hour now, almost run out of water. I'm getting hot and tired. I'm down to my last dregs of water now.
With my water running low, I figured that I had time to ride the last 2 trails on my list before heading inside to cool down. And I'm so glad I did, because at the end of this next trail, I stumbled on something I wasn't expecting to find here. This is definitely one of the more well-ridden trails. You can clearly tell this by how smooth it is. Because it's a popular route, it's been well maintained and has a few extra jumps made out of the odd tree stump if you know where to look. I can see why this is a popular trail, and to be honest, I didn't expect to find something this well looked after when I arrived here. This random off-piste line is more fun, more interesting, and better maintained than a number of the trails at popular trail centres in the area. Not to mention any names, but I have 2 local places in mind. So this is a fast and interesting trail, but these aren't the only reasons why this one is so popular. As I got to the lower parts of this section, suddenly I found this. A wide open space filled with loads of different types of jumps. This is a maze of lines. I considered staying a while and playing on some of the smaller doubles and tabletops, but in this heat, I made a gutting discovery.
I'm out.
With no water left, I felt like I had time for one last trail, and this is another good one. Just like the previous trail, it's another smooth and popular run. I really enjoyed riding this one and managed to get a couple of runs in while I was here. Although I feel like the visibility on this particular trail is a bit poor today. With all the overgrown brush, I can only see a few feet ahead in places. But to be honest, this is all part of the fun of riding off-piste. A lack of visibility can be a little unnerving when you're making it up as you go along, but I'm not riding at full tilt today. This was just a shakedown ride to scope out the trails and earmark a few of the good ones to come back and ride again. Because the trails are only small, you can ride a few different ones in a short space of time, just like I did. In a little over an hour, I managed to ride 15 trails. This includes riding a few of them twice and stopping to film a couple of times too. This also includes riding the push-up tracks back up after every run and spending a bit of time choosing lines. All in all, a successful ride and a great day out. So, thanks for watching me suffer in the heat for the last 8 minutes or so. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.